Don't get sick this 4th of July by making the mistake like leaving food out too long. It's so easy to do. Here to discuss avoiding foodborne illness is Sharon Smalling, clinical nutritionist with Memorial Hermann. Hi there. I'm glad you're joining us because you know what? Every year I unfortunately have to report that emergency rooms do have patients who come in who have food poisoning. It's a painful process. We don't want them to go through. So let's talk about how long you can safely leave that food out in the heat.
I think that one thing that you've really got to remember is when you're going to all these parties for July 4th, be it just at the pool, at your own home, or you're going to the park, or you're going to the beach, if it's above 90 degrees, which we could probably all bet on here in Houston, hot food should not remain out longer than an hour. It should be put back in a cooler. Be sure you keep all of your foods in a cooler until it's time to eat. And as soon as it's done, everybody is finished, and that should be within an hour. All the foods that are supposed to be hot need to be put back in the cooler to maintain the coolness, to prevent further bacterial growth. And all cold foods need to be put back in the cooler as well. If people want to go back and get seconds, they can reach inside the cooler. The other thought is for raw meat. If by chance you're going to be barbecuing using one of the grills, either one that's out on the beach or in the park in your own backyard, be sure you use safe handling of food, especially raw meats and chicken. Use gloves perhaps while you're making those hamburger patties and putting the meat on the grill. And then be sure you have an ability to wash your hands with soap and water, or at least use some hand sanitizers. Cook that meat to the right internal temperatures, 165 degrees for chicken and at least 145 for those hamburger patties. And then be sure that, you know, everybody gets their plate and eats, and all that hot food goes in the cooler.
All right, let's hope that that is the plan, because that's the ideal plan. But let's just say worst case scenario, you're not feeling too good. What would be some signs that maybe you ate some sour food?
Oh, wow, you're going to feel sick. You might have a rumbly tummy. You could feel nauseated. You could have a fever. You could actually be throwing up. So any of those signs are going to be signs of maybe having some foodborne illness. But it will be a little bit. It's not going to come on immediate. It may take some time. So even if you feel fine, but 24 hours later you're sick, that really could still be a foodborne illness.
Now, can you usually treat this at home? Is there a certain indicator that it's time to go see your doctor or even get to an emergency room?
Well, I think if you have continual diarrhea or continual vomiting, you really should get to the emergency room or an urgent care center.
Is it fairly obvious for medical workers to be able to tell what's going on with you, or a lot of times is it a little bit difficult to tell if it might be a virus or some type of food poisoning?
Well, they're going to check for everything, right, when you show up at the emergency room. But don't be surprised if their first questions are, what did you just eat? Or what did you eat 24 hours ago? And if you come up with you had potato salad or some other kind of cooked meal out at the beach, they may immediately think about a possible foodborne illness.
And I'm glad you brought up potato salad, because that is one that a lot of people do end up making, it seems like, on holidays, and it is to be one of the problem spots. And then I guess also you might want to check with your group as well, because there's an indicator if you're sick that unfortunately some other people in your family or friends might be suffering from some of the same symptoms, I would think.
Exactly. And you know, if others are, that's almost a definite that it was some sort of foodborne illness.
All right, Sharon Smalling with Memorial Hermann. Valuable information. Again, it's not anything fun to think about, but just having this in the front of our minds now might just make a big difference in everyone's 4th of July weekend. I hope you have a great holiday and a super safe and healthy one as well.
Thank you. You too.
All right, hope to check in with you again sometime.
Okay.